Alrighty, everyone. Hello and welcome. What is up, my friends? Welcome to the stream. A full day of streaming today. Today is Thursday, October 10th, 2019. I welcome you, of course, as always, to the streams. And to something special, something different today. Something we don't normally do. We're going retro for a full stream. As you guys know, since the release of the Genesis Mini last month, I have had a lot of fun with this console. It's been retro fever, playing a lot of these games that I haven't played since I was a kid. Some games I've never played, and had a lot of fun exploring the various 42 games on the console. Now, that being said, a few of the games were quite short, like Altered Beast and Golden Axe. And I was able to do some full playthroughs of those in simply one sitting, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes. However, some of the games on this console can be pretty lengthy compared to others. And one of the games that when I played it at first glance, I really enjoyed playing it and was like, man, I want to go back and definitely do a playthrough of this one when I get a chance, was Mega Man The Wily Wars. Okay? So a little bit of background about this game, so you understand why I've decided to play it as a full playthrough and why I'm tackling it the way that I am. So Mega Man The Wily Wars. First of all, it's the only Mega Man game to ever appear on a Sega console, alright? It was a big crossover because at the time, Capcom was making games pretty much exclusively for Nintendo. And because of that, many of those games, like the Mega Man franchise, Rockman franchise in Japan, never made it to any other console, alright? So it was pretty much a console exclusive for a very long time. Now, we all know later on, Mega Man jumped ship and went over to the PlayStation, etc. But at this point in time, during these console wars of the 90s, Nintendo had ownership, pretty much console exclusivity with Mega Man, okay? Well, Capcom decided to do something different for the end of the Genesis and Mega Drive. By the way, it's also called the Mega Drive. By the end of its life cycle, they decided to make a game that would be exclusively on the Genesis and or Mega Drive, that would have Mega Man and would be very different from any of the versions that had been previously been put out for the Nintendo Entertainment System, all right? But at the same time, they didn't want to directly compete with the games that they were putting out on the Super NES, because at the time, they had a line of games for the Super NES called Mega Man X. So Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 was a different Mega Man IP that was very popular on the Super NES. So then Capcom said, well, man, if we make the same thing on Genesis, they might think that it's like competition. So instead, what they decided to do was make a game called Mega Man The Wily Wars. Okay? What is the Wily Wars? It is a collection of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 with remastered graphics. So what you should really think of it like is, remember all these remasters we've been playing recently? I just finished Ghostbusters, the video game, the remaster. In recent years, I played games like the Spyro Collection, the Crash Bandicoot Collection. Well, in a lot of ways, the Wily Wars was one of the very first remaster collections ever made in console gaming history. Okay? What they did is they took Mega Man 1 through 3, new graphics, and I would say new sound because they tried to like remix some of the tracks or whatever. Sadly, I hate to say that the sound on the Genesis sound chip, all right, doesn't sound as good as some of the soundtracks when they played on the NES. And I know that sounds silly, but it's just true. Like some of the songs I think sound better on the original NES than they do on this Genesis version of the game, all right? But the graphics are dramatically improved. It basically looks like 16-bit, almost Super NES style graphics for original Mega Man games. So they look very different, okay? Now, it's basically all three of the original Mega Man games, 1 through 3. But if you beat all of those games, all right, you now unlock a fourth playable game that I don't know if it's full length. I honestly don't think it is. But if I'm to understand, there's new Robot Masters, new Wily stages, and all new content that's only accessible if you beat the first 3 games. Now, I've never played that before, and I've played all the classic Mega Man stuff, but I've never played that because I didn't have this for the Genesis, so I never experienced whatever this unlockable content is in the game. Now, another thing that the game had that was a new feature was saving. Up to this point, Mega Man games relied on a password system in order to continue, and it's a little frustrating because the password system wasn't always exact to how many items you actually had in your inventory, etc. But now there's a game save system implemented where you can completely save your game. Of course, as you know, the Genesis Mini also has save states. So in that regard, It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So we'll see how stuff goes. All right. Um, ow. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I do today. This is a main 4-hour plus stream of Mega Man, okay? With 3 Mega Man games to beat before I even get to the new content that I've never experienced before, this could be quite challenging. And for those who did not watch my Mega Man Marathon, which I believe at this point was 7 to 8 years ago, okay? FYI, these games are rage-inducing. They are absolutely chock full of cheap deaths and beginner's trap kind of situations, meaning you are going to die if you don't know what to expect and what's around the corner, and it will take you a while in some cases to learn exactly what to do to avoid a cheap instant death. That's what Mega Man is all about, okay? Especially the old ones. That's how the games were designed. So you can definitely expect a lot of fails and a lot of rage today, I get the feeling. But the thing is, it's all lighthearted because I've played these games before. I know how tough they are. I know what I'm getting into. And it's certainly not, these aren't modern games. You know, these games were made to be like this back in the day. When you bought a Mega Man game, you know, it was anywhere from $50 to $100 depending on the time and where you bought it. And yes, and by the way, games were that expensive. I remember buying Mega Man 3, and I believe Mega Man 3 was like $70 or $80 when I got it. For whatever reason, I don't know. But I remember, you know, those games were purposely made like this to extend the length. Because if a game was only 4 hours long, if you knew how to beat it, but if it was challenging and you kept dying, it's 8 hours long. You see what I mean? You could double the length and double the value for your dollar, and that's kind of how the game designers thought back then. So I totally understand that, and I know I'm going to be raging. I know it's going to be a fun stream, and I know there's no way I'm beating Mega Man 1 through 3 and then new content in one session. It's impossible. Maybe I'll get through Mega Man 1 and 2 and get into 3. Maybe. That's a strong maybe. But I don't think we're going to get super far. I think this is going to be a good first step, and then maybe another 1 to 2 sessions to actually beat this game. Okay? So I hope you guys are excited for this. It's retro fun, but it's also a lot of frustration and rage and cheap deaths. It should be a good time, especially for those of you who enjoy seeing me fail over and over, which I know a lot of people like that, okay? This will be your kind of stream, okay? So good stuff ahead today. I'm looking forward to this very much, and I'm probably going to be playing this more in the next 1 to 2 weeks to finish it up, okay? Now, later tonight, it's going to be something to cool me down from the rage of failure that I know I'm going to have during this stream. It's going to be Dragon Quest Builders 2. And the good news here is that if you've been following along the Dragon Quest Builders 2 playthrough, it looks like we'll finally be finishing up the story that I've been in and stuck in for like the past 2 months because I didn't play the game for like 3 weeks because of the new releases. Then when I got back to it, I was only playing it like once a week. So now I'm trying to play it at least 2 times a week to get further. And it looks like finally we'll be wrapping up this goddamn island. Okay? I hope. I really hope. Yeah, I'll just said in the stream chat, $80 for Mega Man, I think you got robbed. See, you don't understand, yeah. Today in the modern market, all games cost the same. All games, at one point, all games were $50. Then they raised the price in the 2000s that all games were $60 each, right? $59.99. Or if you live in other countries, I'm sure it's another standard price. Back in the 80s and 90s, video games did not have consistent pricing. When you went to a store, you might pay one price for one game and way more or way less for another game, depending on the game, depending on what people said about the game. In a lot of cases, reviews of a game could determine its actual sale value. I know that sounds weird, okay? But it's true. It was a very different time for games. It wasn't until the 2000s, really, that 100% consistent pricing were across the board. A good RPG just said some RPGs were $90 and to $100, I remember. Right, because they would say, oh, these games are super long. So they would sell those games for way more, while a quick to beat platformer or shooter would be like, $40 or $50. So Let's All Make Believe just said, I remember the Neo Geo games being the price of consoles today. Neo Geo was a whole thing, because the Neo Geo console essentially was an arcade machine. It had exactly the same processing power as the arcade machines. So the console itself was insanely expensive, and then the cost of the game, you were essentially buying a game board for the thing, and those things were incredibly expensive, so you're absolutely right. But anyway, I digress. It's going to be fun today, okay? Later tonight, Dragon Quest Builders 2. It should be a chill stream. We should finally finish up the story that I'm in and get to the next part of the game. Thank God, because I want to do something different. I'm tired of doing the combat island. I really want to do something different now. So, we'll see what happens later tonight on the late chill stream, okay? Sounds good. Now, tomorrow, all right, is up in the air. Okay, everybody? Tomorrow's up in the air. Why is it up in the air? Because I may be able to play Untitled Goose Game. I may not. It looks like I'm supposed to be gifted the game today. If that goes through, that's great. That means tomorrow we're going to be doing a one-off stream of Untitled Goose Game. A really quirky game that a lot of people have been talking about over the last week. It came out last Friday, actually. And so I'll be checking it out if I can get it. All right, I hope I can get it. If not, then tomorrow we're going to be returning to the world of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yeah, we're going to be going back to that game for the first time in a year and a half. So let's see what happens. By the end of today, I should have an answer for all of you on what's going on with Untitled Goose Game, so we know if I'm playing it tomorrow or not. If I am playing it tomorrow, then it's going to be Untitled Goose Game, and then the late stream is going to be Retro Throwback Street Fighter. Okay? So we'll see. If not, like I said, it'll be PUBG and Retro Throwback Street Fighter. Okay? And then the weekend is going to be determined again on if I can play Untitled Goose Game or not. You may see PUBG. I mean, you're definitely going to see PUBG this weekend no matter what. I'm actually very interested in checking out PUBG again and seeing what they've done with this game in the last week and a half. Or week and a half. Year and a half. So, that's definitely happening. Other things that you will see. Chill streams. I think Sunday night I'm going to be doing my Minecraft chill stream. Probably Monday night, I'm going to be doing more Dragon Quest Builders 2. And there's going to be probably more Wily Wars. More than likely, if I'm doing this Thursday, maybe I'll play it again on Monday. We'll see, but I'm probably going to want to do another session of it. In addition to all of that, okay, I am planning on doing a stream of SNES Classics. These are games that were released on the Nintendo Switch as part of a program. If you're part of the Nintendo Switch Online program, and you pay their monthly fee or whatever to do online play, or their yearly fee, I think, because I think I played a yearly fee like way earlier this year, or last year actually. Excuse me. Then, excuse me, I can't stop burping now. You get access to all these SNES games, and so I would like to check these out. And there's a good variety on there. There's Super Mario World 2, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid. I'm trying to remember if F-Zero's on there. F-Zero is incredibly tough. I remember renting it and getting my ass handed to me. But original Mario Kart is so much fun, but also so challenging. It's super hard, man. Especially if you play it on the harder speeds and stuff. The game is, like, ridiculously tough. So, there's good stuff on there. Okay? So I will let you know, when that's happening. But that's potentially all that's happening this weekend. We might have Untitled Goose Game. We're going to have a return to PUBG. We're going to have more Wily Wars. And we're probably going to have a session of SNES Classics. Okay? Paired with chill streaming at night, including Dragon Quest Builders 2, Retro Throwback Street Fighter, Minecraft, and more. Alright? So good stuff this coming week. Alright? Next week should be a little different. We may have a new release. I'll let you guys know when we get closer to next week. Okay? So that's the deal. Hope you guys are excited. That sounds pretty good, huh? It's a good variety of stuff coming in the next week, so. All right. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember that right now, all right, you can actually vote for the type of Halloween costume that you want to see me wear during my Halloween horror marathon at the end of this month. All right? You need to go to my forums, thekingofhate.com. You need to vote on a category. You could vote on more than one category, by the way. And the categories are as follows. Classic Hollywood movie monster. Video game character. Comic book character. Pop culture icon. Or wild card, where I will try to pick something zany and weird and funny or whatever. I'll see what I can find. Essentially, when you vote wild card, you're kind of putting the choice into my hands, depending on what I can find, and seeing if I can find something unique and different and interesting. So, yeah, that's the deal. And I need you guys to vote, vote, vote. Right now, a lot of people actually have voted, so thanks to those who did. And if you're wondering what's winning the poll, it's Wildcard. Wildcard is actually in the lead, so guys might just put it in my hands, and I'll have to go out there and see what I can find and find something crazy, okay? But that's not it. You know, it could be anything. It's still very much in the running. There's got over another week, I would say, of voting before we close that off, and then I head out to get my Halloween costume, okay? So please, vote, 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 okay? The more votes, the better. Please go ahead and vote. Alrighty then, fair enough? Okay, so please do that over on the kinghate.com forums. Alright, just trying to think, is there anything else that I want to cover? So FYI guys, today there will be a new Halloween decoration on stream. Something showed up in the mail. My parents had told me that they were buying me a Halloween decoration, but did not tell me what it was. They just said that they had ordered me a Halloween decoration that they thought would be cool for the streams. So I have it on stream here today. Some of you might have already seen it because I very quickly turned the camera on the pre-stream to try to position it here. So you might already have seen it. Yeah. So, you know, no. Sir Queevington says, I hope it's a cardboard penis. Are you seriously bringing that fucking meme and story back? You're really bringing that back? I thought we were past that and I didn't have to mention it anymore. But oh my god. No, it's not a cardboard penis. Okay? And no, actually, my parents don't watch the stream. But, you know, like I told you guys, I call my parents every week and I have a nice conversation with them about what we're up to. And I told them, you know, oh, we started the Halloween festivities. We've got the Halloween decorations and everything in the office for Halloween. And my mom was like, oh, I see all these nice things that on TV for Halloween decorations, and I might get you one. I was like, well, Mom, if you want to, go ahead. You know, I'm not going to say no. That would be nice. So she ended up ordering me something, and it's going to be on stream starting today for the next 3 weeks. Okay? Is it a smoke screen? Yes. You won't be able to see me. It'll just be a smoke-filled room. You got it. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, there'll be a nice new decoration here on streams today. And, yeah, pretty cool. Okay? All right, so moving on, guys. Normally I would do a long plugs segment. I'm not going to do a long plug segment today. Instead, I'm just going to be very matter-of-fact and honest with all of you right now. I'm in very bad financial straits right now. I'm in a situation where I'm completely overdrawn on my bank account. And I'm not going to be getting paid by Twitch at least at the earliest another 5 days. It may be a little earlier. It may be later. It all depends on how long it takes for money to clear this month. The problem is I have bills that need to clear. And already there's been 2 of them that have cleared but have overdrawn my bank account, hitting me with tons of fees. All right. This sucks. And I could promise you guys that if you tip me today on stream, all right, that those tips are going to go directly towards this issue and try to get me out of this situation and help me have a better month, basically, okay? Keep in mind, later this month, there's a lot of games I need to afford. So if I'm already paying tons of money that I owe for fees and back payments for things that don't clear, that's going to be less money that I can buy games with. It really sucks, okay? So please today, guys, if you can tip me on stream, that's going to help me more than anything else, and I'm going to be very appreciative of that. Now, understand there's other ways you can contribute. You can cheer, you can sub to the channel, etc. And all of those are greatly appreciated. I don't want you to think that just because you're doing something that's not what I mentioned is the preferred method of contribution that I don't appreciate that. It's not. That's not the case. They all help. But tipping me is what really the help that I need right now in the short term. If you can tip me, please do. I finally got an answer, okay, on what's going on with PayPal and the tipping process, because it seems there's been some confusion. Some people have been saying, well, I go to tip you, Phil, and it says I need a PayPal account to tip. I don't understand. Other people say, no, when I go to pay, there's all these credit card icons. I can click on those, and I can just use a debit or credit card to tip you if I want. So I found out what the problem is. The problem is the mobile version of everything doesn't work right. And it's been like this forever, and I realize a lot of people use their phones to do stuff. I get that, okay? But it just seems like even in today, 2019, the mobile versions of things just aren't the same as the desktop versions. So I personally tested this morning. I was on my phone. I clicked on the tips link. I went to the PayPal tips page, and I clicked on, okay, I want to test donation, and I clicked on it, and all it said was pay with PayPal. That's it. There was no option for anything else. Okay? Now, I wasn't logged into anything or nothing. I just wanted to test it, and that's what happened. So I said, okay, let me go over to my desktop and try it on my desktop. So I did. I went over to my desktop, and I clicked on it and went to it, and guess what? These when I went to do the tip, credit card icons appeared below where it said, click here to tip with PayPal, and it was Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. So those 4 methods were all available as a method to tip. All right? So it seems to me that's a problem. You know, I understand that a lot of you guys watch me on mobile devices or on tablets, or, you know, you're not sitting at your desktop computer necessarily watching my streams. That sucks, because tips are really what I need right now to help the most. And if you have to do this big process of registering with PayPal, and if PayPal's a hassle, because someone have said, you know, previously, you know, they have issues with PayPal. Maybe PayPal it got hacked or something, and they don't want to deal with PayPal again. I hear you. All right, I was trying to make this process as streamlined as possible, so you didn't have to do that. And it seems like for some people, it's just not going to show up. All right, so I apologize, and there's nothing I can do about it. But at least I got to the bottom of it. All right, so now we know what the hell's going on. If you want to tip me, but you don't want to use a PayPal account, you have to do it on a desktop computer. It's the only way you're going to get the full loading of the PayPal site that gives you the credit card options. I don't know why that is, but that's why. Okay, so guys, if you want to help me the most today, please tip me. Below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat to bring up the link. All right, both those methods are how you can tip me. And by the way, another thing about PayPal, you don't have to give your identity out. You can make up a name. Okay, you can be anonymous. Just say anonymous. So some people they want to contribute, but they don't want to have their name out there. All right, that's the way to do it. Okay, guys? All right. So there you go. Now, if you cheer, sub, or tip on today's stream, I'm going to give you a shout-out. I'm going to put the top cheerer and top tipper up on the leaderboard for extra recognition. There's also a cheering leaderboard that tracks everyone's cheers for the week to give extra recognition there. So there's many, many ways you can get recognition for contributions. However, please understand, contributions are very much appreciated. Yes, they keep stuff going around here. And yes, I do need the support right now, but they're not mandatory. You are not required to contribute in any way, shape, or form to be on my streams, nor will I give you any kind of preferential treatment if you do. My streams are meant to be fun, interactive places where you can hang out, you can have fun, you can maybe interact with me a little bit, you can interact with Stream Chat a little bit, and have a good time. And that's what it's always been about. Okay? Now, because of that, understand that there's some rules that are in place for the stream. That I want you to understand before we start as well. The first is that I have to abide by all of Twitch's terms of service, being that I stream on twitch.tv. I have to pay attention to all of them, okay? So I can't just say and do anything I want. I do have some ground rules that I'm required to follow per the website, okay? And that's okay. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just life. You use someone's business, you got to abide by the rules, right? But in addition to that, there's a certain chill vibe that I like to maintain on my streams, so that we can all have a good and fun time, and so that there's no drama and nonsense. Essentially, what I want you to do is this. I want you to come to my stream and feel like this is a place where you can escape from your everyday life. You know, there's a lot of drama going on in everyone's life. There's a lot of stress. I know that. I'm there too, right? I hear you. When you come to a gamer stream, you don't want to hear about negativity. You don't want to hear about this person insulted this person. You don't want to see people attacking people. You don't want to hear about all kinds of nonsense and drama, which is why, in essence, I don't mention certain topics like politics or religion are very, very sparsely ever covered on my streams, because typically when people talk about those things, they get very argumentative, they get angry with each other. I don't want that on my streams, okay? I want it to be a chill thing. In addition, we don't bring up detractors. We don't bring up people who are stealing my content, people who are hating on me, people who are shitting on me, people who essentially ride my coattails and make a living trying to make me look like in a very negative light because they have no positivity and no creativity of their own. We don't bother with those people. Fuck them, right? I'm here to put out fun, positive streams for you guys. I don't care about that shit, and I'm certainly not going to focus and waste time on it, okay? So that being said, please follow those rules, and if we do, we should maintain a nice chill vibe here where you guys can hear my honest reactions to games and gameplay. We can have some fun conversations on the stream, and it should be a good time for all and without drama. That's essentially what I'm aiming for, okay? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's what I strive for every single day on stream, okay? Alrighty then. So, thank you guys for understanding. Thanks for listening. Thanks for even considering contributing. And please, if you do, tip me if you can. That's going to help me more today than anything else. And I really need the help for the next 5 or more days, depending on what happens here with Twitch. So please contribute if you can. All right, guys? All right. Moving on. Let's now get to the shout-out segment of the stream. This is the part of the stream where I give shout-outs to those who have contributed. I answer some questions. All right? And then we get to the actual gameplay after that. Fair enough? Okay, so we start off with a cheer. Actually, I take that back. Overnight, there was a tip from the OG Rascal. He tipped me $1.50. And he said, can't afford to tip much right now, but I'd like to support your efforts regardless. So thank you to the OG Rascal for that. Like I said, anything is appreciated. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for tipping me overnight when I wasn't even broadcasting. Because 10 hours ago, actually 12 hours ago, was 11 at night, and I was not on the stream. So thank you for even thinking about me around that time, okay? Excuse me. Alrighty. So let's continue. Mazik5188 cheered 50 bits this morning. Thank you very much, Mazik, for the cheer. That was before the stream started. I was going to say I'll put you up on the leaderboard, but actually that was before the stream started. I'm only going to start putting people up there who, contributed while the stream was running. So, all right. Our first legit cheer during the stream was from Vincent9999. His 50-bit cheer, and he says, have you ever played Mega Man Legends? If so, what are your thoughts on it? No. Now, Mega Man Legends, if I remember correctly, wasn't that the 3D Mega Man that was made for N64? If I'm correct, I think that's what it was. Never played it. Because even though I owned N64, at that time, that was when I was getting very heavily into competitive Street Fighter. And at the same time, I was into PlayStation. Like, N64 I owned, and I played games like Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Doom 64. I had some of them. Oh, Killer Instinct Gold. I had Killer Instinct Gold for it. But I was much more impressed with the graphics and the games that were on the PlayStation 1 at the time. There were so many games on there that were so much better than what was coming out, especially graphically and content-wise. Music. You can actually have CD quality music on the PlayStation 1. So I really liked the PlayStation stuff over the N64. So even though I owned an N64, I didn't play that much on it. And if I remember correctly, Mega Man Legends came out at a time when I was already almost fully into the PlayStation 1. I wasn't even getting games for the N64 anymore. So, no, I never played the Mega Man Legends series at all. I know there's a few games in it, I believe. And isn't that where Tron Bonne came from? Now, Tron Bonne, funny, because I don't know anything about the Mega Man Legends series except Tron Bonne, because Tron Bonne was a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And when they added her in, she became a broken, overpowered character in the game because of a game glitch. So everyone used her, but no one knew who the fuck she was. It was pretty funny. So yeah, but no, I don't know much about Mega Man Legends and never played it. So thank you, Vincent. I forgot to put up how much you cheered. Oops. But the 50-bit cheer, okay? Someone whose name I'm not going to say because people apparently got mad. You know what? I can say it. I'm not saying this as any kind of an insult. I'm saying this as a English term. It's actually a word in the English language. Mongoloid, okay? Someone named Mongoloid tipped me $2 and said, hey man, I may have made a dumb drug joke the other day, and I may or may not have been under the substance myself. I'm able to perhaps get another chance and get unbanned, okay? First of all, yes, you can get unbanned if you contact me via the right method that you're supposed to. Meaning, you're supposed to email me at darksidesphil@hotmail.com, or you're supposed to email a mod or talk to a mod via a direct message or whatever, and they will review the case. Now, in the case of this is your name, and this is some kind of an insulting name or whatever, all right, then maybe that won't be possible. I don't know. We'll have to look into it. I don't even know why you were banned, quite frankly. I don't even know what joke you told. I don't remember, all right? But what I would say is the case needs to be reviewed, not during a live stream. And doing what you just did, tipping, is not going to get you unbanned. It's not the way that anyone gets unbanned. So you got to either email me or you got to contact a mod and have someone look into it. I don't know what the situation is or what happened. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So there you go. And I'm only putting you up as M because apparently some people are triggered by the word, even though, from what I'm to understand, it's not really an insult. But I guess some people use it as some kind of an insult, and people get triggered. So I guess I'm not going to use the word. I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't get it. The weird shit going on with this world. Okay, continuing on. Red Bandit 94 did 150-bit cheer. That actually makes Red Bandit the top cheerer of the day. And Red Bandit says the following. Finally able to catch a stream and get some much-needed laughs after having to pull 3 back-to-back doubles. What's your shittiest work week pre-YouTube streaming? Oh, man. My shittiest work week. Well, let me think about this. When I had a fast food job, there were some weeks, especially during the holidays, where I would be working 40-plus hours. Now, I didn't get paid overtime, even though legally you were supposed to. They didn't pay overtime for jobs like that back then. They didn't give a shit. But I did it on purpose because I wanted to raise money at that point in time. I was trying to raise money to go to tournaments and stuff to play Street Fighter. So I would work my absolute ass off. I would be in there at 8 in the morning doing prep and stuff in the morning, chopping up vegetables, cooking bread, getting everything ready for the day. Then I would work till like noon, get like an hour to an hour and a half break since I was working such an incredibly long schedule. And then I would work till like 9 at night and close the store. So essentially I was opening and closing the store myself with, you know, maybe 1 or 2 people coming in during the day to help me out. And those were pretty crazy. But, you know, I was young. I was full of energy. It didn't really bother me because I knew I was earning tons of money in order to go to Street Fighter tournaments and stuff. So I didn't really mind back then. Okay. I'm sorry. I said cooking bread and people are laughing. I baked the bread. I didn't cook the bread. I baked the bread. Jesus Christ, you people are fucking sticklers. Holy shit. We got him. There's a streamer. He said cooking bread instead of baking bread. You got me. Wow. Anyway, continuing on. I wouldn't say I had too many tough times when I worked at Circus City. In fact, I actually kind of liked that job, except there was a little bit of drama. I won't get into that. It was an era when basically there was a big shift between commission-based and hourly-based workers. Because at one point, all those jobs used to be commission-based, but when they did commission-based, they found it caused a lot of problems. Like, it would make people lie about products and stuff in order to sell things. And then, it would cause a lot of problems when you find out later that they lied about it to make the sale. So they basically then stopped having them be commission-based, and then the people who were commission-based got paid way more money, base pay, to stay at the job than new people that they were hiring. It was a big mess, okay? But I worked at Circus City. It was a pretty good job, I would say. When I got to work there, I enjoyed it. But I don't think I had any hard work stories there. Best Buy, nah. See, the thing with Best Buy was they never overworked me because I was getting paid more than the other people there, quite frankly. So they didn't want me to work crazy hours because if I did, they would have to pay me way more money than everybody else. So when I worked at Best Buy, that didn't really happen. Now when I had my office job, all right, that was interesting because I was on salary, and a lot of the times they wanted you to work your ass off, but then they told you couldn't work overtime, but yet they wanted you to get your work done. So that was an interesting dynamic because essentially they were saying get your work done, but don't claim overtime, which is illegal. But that's the kind of thing that they would say, is that we don't want anyone working overtime. We don't have a budget for it, but you need to get all your work done. It's like, yeah, but if I'm here 40 hours working my ass off and my work's not done because you gave me so much work to do, how am I supposed to get it done? And it's what they did with me, if you can believe it, they gave me a laptop. And they said, oh, take this laptop home and do some work from home too. I'm not even kidding. They were like, go home and work from home and don't tell us about it. So I did. I had a laptop and I was working from home for like a year when I wasn't at work, in the office. I would still be working from home. There were days when I took a sick day, but I still worked from home while I was taking a sick day at home because I was sick as shit, but they needed me to keep working because if I didn't work, the whole place would basically come to a fucking halt. So interesting how that place worked, huh? And then essentially after doing that for 4.5 years and, working my ass off, they laid me off anyway. So that really wasn't worth it. So I would say probably that was the worst, only because At the other jobs, when I worked my ass off, they at least had to pay me, okay? At that job, I was on salary. So I would work my ass off, and I wouldn't get any pay for it. It wasn't like they were paying me the overtime or anything for it. They didn't give a fuck. They were just like, oh, well, just get your work done, but by the way, we're not going to grant overtime. Okay? Pretty stupid, huh? Okay. So there is your answer. Oh, Red Bandit. I certainly hope that things have calmed down for you now. If you're working 3 double shifts, hopefully now things are better and it's not as frustrating. And also, I hope you got paid for it. I hope you didn't get duped like me into getting a salary job where the assholes abuse the shit out of you. So here's the difference. A salary job, typically when you have a salary job, you get some good benefits and stuff. So I had healthcare that was pretty decent. But then they find a way to make it not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, good, I got good healthcare, but then they fucking completely abuse me, overuse me, overwork me, and don't pay me for it, and then they fucking lay me off, you know? So at least I'm hoping that you got paid for your working your butt off with those double shifts. At least, I hope, okay? Okay. Milky Moobs has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the sub. Snorlax, what's going on, Snorlax? Just took me $1 and says checking in for the daily dose of DSP Proto Man, son. That's right. Today, if we get to it, I don't know if we're going to get to it because we're about halfway through Mega Man 1. Then we got Mega Man 2. Proto Man made his debut in Mega Man 3. He's the baddest of the pimpest of bad, fucking Proto Man. And he's cool. I love Proto Man. I think he was one of the coolest characters in the original Mega Man franchise. It added a little spin to the franchise. I remember the first time playing Mega Man 3 and running into him in one of the stages. I was like, holy shit, that's cool. It's the guy that looks like Mega Man and you're fighting him. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get to that today. We got a bunch of games to get through, a bunch of bosses to kill, a bunch of Wily stages to beat before we get to that. But we may well get to that. It depends on how well I do. Okay? We'll find out. Good stuff. So anyway, thank you, Snorlax, for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. Let's update the leaderboard. Shit. Alright, Hornet Man has resub for 7 months. He says, Phil, what's your opinion? Mega Man 11. Did you like the graphical style? Nice to see you playing some Mega Man. I liked Mega Man 11 last year. Alright, I thought it was a good game, a solid game. I thought it had some fun mechanics. Some people didn't like it because, remember, you could just keep buying stuff. And if you remember, but if you don't buy the upgrades and stuff in the game's incredibly tough. But if you buy the upgrades, then the game's pretty easy. And I think that was the problem a lot of people had with the game was, why is the game so easy if you buy the upgrades? But if you don't buy them, now it's like tough as nails. So I played the game and I used the currency system like you were supposed to. And a lot of people complained, oh, the game's too easy, now you ruined it. And I'm like, I'm just using what's in the fucking game. I didn't, you know what I mean? It's not like I purposely went out of my way to cheat to make the game easy or whatever. But that's how people are. As you guys know, a lot of people like to see me just rage and fail rather than actually have a good time with the game. And because I was succeeding at the game, using the system put in place to succeed, a lot of people were frustrated. It is what it is, I guess, okay? So, that's actually incorrect, Modern Day Maharaja. He says you don't get overtime for a salary job. That's actually legally incorrect. A salary job is only required to have you work up to a certain amount of hours, and if you exceed that amount of hours, you are still legally required to pay overtime. I know, because I know all about it. When I worked at that office job, they were like, if you work this many more hours, you're required to do overtime, and we don't want you to do that because we don't have a budget for it. But at the same time, get your work done even if you work more than those hours. See? So, there you go. Okay, so continuing on, and excuse me, responding to Hornet Man, yes, I did like the graphical style of Mega Man 11. I thought that it brought modern graphics to the classic 2D side-scrolling formula of Mega Man. I thought it was a good game, but a lot of people didn't like the way I played it. Today with Mega Man Wily Wars, we won't have that. There's no shortcuts. The only thing I could do is make save states, and as you guys are going to see, save states are not going to make the game any easier. Because there's so many cheap instant deaths in classic Mega Man, I'm still going to have to replay stuff and do stuff, so. Okay. It is what it is. Abijo says, why is the world always out to get you? Why do the companies who you work for treat you unfairly? Because that's the way the world works. The world is not a happy, supportive place. As much as all these special butterflies today on social media like to think that the world is a safe space, it's not. Corporations are not out there to protect your best interests. They're out there to make a buck. Just being very frank here. And, you know, to them, you're just another number. You're another piece of data on a spreadsheet. You're another number. You're another cog in a wheel. You're not a human. They use you as an asset, not as a person. They're not moral. Corporations are not moral. It's very rare when you'll actually find a corporation that actually cares and treats its employees fairly. In my experience, my 37 years on this earth, all the companies I dealt with always have this kind of mentality of money first, profits first, company first, screw everything else. Okay? Now, that's just my experience. Maybe you guys have gotten different experiences. That's mine. Okay? And, you know, that's life. I don't know what else to tell you. And I've definitely, over the years, have understood and I get that. And I know that, which is why I love doing what I do for a living, where I'm my own boss. Because as soon as you go to one of these jobs, that's it, man. Expect it. Expect the stress. Expect the pain. Expect to be mistreated. It's just what's going to happen. You got to bow down to the man, as they say, in order to make a living. And it sucks. And by the way, in no way, shape, or form would I ever hold it against someone who has to work that kind of job. And I totally respect people who have to grind day in, day out to make a living at jobs like that, because I know how bad they fucking suck. I've been there. And I understand how incredibly lucky I am to be in the situation I am, that I can do something that I love for a living and be my own boss, because it's not good, dude. I know. I hear you. And that's why I respect all of you who every day you're grinding. You're on that daily fucking grind of bullshit, you know, swallowing the shit in order to make a living. I hear you. And, you know, keep at it. Don't give up, man. Okay. Continuing on. So the same person who's trying to get unbanned tipped another $2 and said, I can't whisper any mods, and the joke was about Rick Moranis and Dan Aykroyd. Now I remember the joke. He says, either way, I'll try to email then. Yes, email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com and we'll talk. Okay? Now, Ralph tipped me $2 and said, would you be interested in buying Hot Gamer Guy cucumber water? I'll have to think about that, man. Maybe, you know. Sometimes I'm in the market for that kind of stuff. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, by the way, but thanks for the tip regardless. Golden Colts did a 50-bit cheers. Says, can you check how many penne points I have? So, FYI, guys, I talked about this last month, and the whole thing kind of fizzled and died out, and you guys were wondering why I never talked about it again. It's because, here's the deal. There's going to be this new point system on Twitch, by which when you watch a streamer, when you chat in a streamer's chat, etc., you're going to accumulate points on that streamer's channel. And when you accumulate a certain amount of points, you can get certain things. Like, for example, you could say something and have it highlighted in stream chat. You can get temporary access to a special emote for a certain amount of time, all right? I liked this idea, and I said if I use it, I'll call it the penne points system to jump on one of the silly memes about me, and that we would use it in the streams. I applied for the beta and everything, and I never heard back. Well, come to find out, the reason I never heard back is because Amazon decided to, or not Amazon, excuse me, Twitch decided to revamp it and basically have it launch for everyone next year. And so I already signed up for it. I'm already part of the program now to have it whenever it launches. It's supposed to be January that we could start this system, okay? Everyone could be tracking their penne points, okay? So there you go. There you go. People are already making jokes. What's my PP score? See? You guys will be able to make all kinds of lewd and crude jokes about it. Har, har, har. It should be silly, all right? So that's going to be next year now. It seems like they already delayed it. They said, oh, we don't want to really roll it out for anyone. We'll do it next year. So probably January we'll get more information about that, okay? Fair enough? Okay. All right. Shout out to Honest Troll, who did resub for 6 months in a row. And he says, when I shit, my dick touches the water. Do you got that problem? Not unless it's a really small toilet. I think it has happened to me once or twice. But that's pretty disgusting. So the tip of your penis is touching shit in the toilet. That's probably not sanitary. You might want... That's pretty disgusting, actually. That's That might be a bit major problem. Maybe you should invest in like a sling so you can like sling it up over your shoulder while you shit so that way it doesn't touch the shit. That's disgusting, man. I don't want to hear about that. Okay, anyway, Uzi Gohard cheered and says, don't forget to smile, Phil. Thank you very much, Uzi Gohard, for the 50-bit cheer. I appreciate that. And 2Bar King did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, 2Bar King, for the 100 bits. I appreciate that as well. All right, I guess what we will do, let's give a shout-out to the top cheerers of the week. Today is... What is today? I don't even know what today is. Thursday? Yeah, today's Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday. So the week is young. We still got Friday, Saturday, Sunday after today for people to get up on this leaderboard. We're not even halfway through the week yet, okay? So, shout out to the top cheerers of the week, all right? In 10th place, we've got Joe, or Lilu Corbin. In 9th place, we've got Geekrum. 8th place, the Ultimate Roider. In 7th place this week, Freddie B. 6th place goes to Sora Satoshi, who is tied with Magnus Flamebeard. So technically, it's not 6th. It's a tie for 5th. So thank both of you. In 4th place, we've got Sambuca 2020. 3rd place goes to Bent Boxer. 2nd place, Philly Buckeye. And in 1st place, Golden Colts. And it's funny because I don't think Golden Colts has actually cheered that much during the live streams. It always seems to be usually after hours. So thank you very much, Golden Colts, for all that support this week so far. Okay? So there you go, top cheerers. Now, what I should also do is check sub count, because I haven't done that the entirety of the stream. 562. We went up a few. Very nice. Thank you, guys. Timbo Slice just did a 50-bit cheer, and he says the following. He says, wait a goddamn minute. First part of cheer, I work at a corporate office for a company, and I love my job, so not everyone hates their job. Oh, and I hear you. Like I said, Timbo, I'm well aware that there are companies and corporations out there that care. It's just that I've never been lucky enough, really, to be part of one. Sadly, whenever I've worked, I've always just been a cog in a wheel, a means to an end. And that sucks to have that feeling, to feel like you're actually not cherished as a human being, but instead as just an asset to the company that can be cut at any time. And that's always how it's been for me. You know, it's funny because that's what people say. You know, get a real job, because real jobs have job security. Like, I've never been in a job that had job security in my entire life. Every job, whether it was a fast food job, a retail industry job, an actual office job, none of them had job security. They were all at any moment you could just get cut and fuck you. So maybe one day, you know, we'll all be lucky enough to have that, but right now I haven't experienced it. If you have it, Timbo, good for you. That's awesome, and congratulations. Because I'll tell you, man, it ain't common, okay? Now, it's the second part of cheer. WWE 2K20 will now have a male and female career mode. Any chance you will try both and do 2 runs? Well, okay, I see what you're saying. The My Career mode will have 2 completely separate things. Maybe? The question really is not, will I do 2 separate runs? The question is, how much can you guys stomach of WWE 2K20? Because, you see what I mean? Because there's My Career mode, there's also the story mode that's based on the 4 Horsewomen's story of going through NXT and making it to mainstream WWE TV and all their matches there. So that's great and all, but how much are you guys going to be able to stomach of this game? You see what I mean? Like, I don't know if my viewing audience is going to want me to be playing WWE 2K20 4 to 5 times a week. You see what I mean? Or even if I do it twice a week, right? That's cool and all, but there's a lot of other games. Like WWE 2K20 comes out on the 22nd of October. 3 days later, we've got Modern Warfare, Outer Worlds, and the Medieval Remaster. The next week, we got the Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz Remaster and my Halloween Marathon, including Luigi's Mansion. The week after that, we've got Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympics and Death Stranding and Need for Speed. So, as you can see, it's not like there's nothing going on. In fact, there's a ton going on. So, Sam T himself says that's wrong. WWE 2K20 story mode is a joint story. You'll play as both male and female superstars going through it. Oh, so Timbo, it sounds like you may have the wrong information, or Sam T has the wrong information. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, the way I look at it is I'm willing to check out the modes and keep playing the game. As long as I'm having fun with it and you guys are liking it on stream, I'll keep going. But what I'm nervous about is typically what happens with these WWE games is at first they have some hype behind them, and then when other games start to come out, they completely fizzle out. And me continuing on, people are like, why are you still playing this? That's what happened last year with the My Career mode. People were yelling at me like, why are you still playing this career mode? There's other games out. And I was like, well, because I like it. Because it seems to be different from the previous years. It's more fun and interesting, and people were yelling at me that I should stop playing it. So I guess we'll see what happens, okay? Okay. All right, so everything's updated. Thank you to Red Bandit for the top cheer of the day. Thank you to M, the name that I guess I can't repeat any because I don't want to get in trouble, for the top tip. Please, guys, today, all contributions appreciated. I'll give you a shout out for whatever you do, but please, if you can, please tip me during today's stream. That's going to help me more than anything. I honestly really need the help right now because I need to try to get my bank account back in the black, and right now it's way into the red, okay? So thank you for that, all right? All right, we're going to get started. We're going to jump over to Mega Man, and we're going to continue. If you remember, I did start playing Mega Man 1 already. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to continue on with that. I think I beat 3 Robot Masters, I want to say. I can't remember how many. It was either 2 or 3. I remember it's very difficult. Okay. So. All right. So, let me go ahead and put this thing over here. Hold on. All right. I'm pumped for retro fun. I hope you guys are too. And let's end the pre-stream and let's get started, shall we? Actually, hold on. Now that I see this, hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, it looks like we're good. Phone is good. Everything's good. All right, let's do this.